Hello, Gareth here, and it's time for another watercolor ramble. So, this is about a trip to a place called Yufuin. So, I will also show you a painting that I did of this place. So, let's begin. So, on Sunday, the 7th of February of 2021, we went on a family trip to Yufuin. So this is a popular tourist town in my prefecture, Oita, and I am also lucky in having some paintings on display here in an art gallery called Dodoin. So on the way to Yufuin, my wife called the gallery owner to see if I had sold any paintings, and I was expecting to hear her say that I hadn't, especially because of COVID and no doubt a big decrease in the number of tourists. However, I was delighted to hear that I had sold a painting. So when we arrived in Yufuin, the first place we went to was the gallery, or rather my wife dropped me off near the gallery and she went to find a car park. She didn't want to drive the car directly to the gallery because the road was so bad. It's an old country road full of big stones and potholes. So while she was looking for a place to park the car, I went to the gallery through a maze of small paths, and it was very interesting, and I did a video just to show you what it was like. I'll put it at the end of the painting video just in case you'd like to have a look. So the gallery itself is a beautiful traditional Japanese building, and it's full of artworks, and the gallery owner herself is a passionate artist, and nowadays she's into making wooden sculptures. So maybe sometime in the future I'll show you the inside of this gallery. So her name is Uda-san, and she's a very pleasant woman, and it was lovely to receive some money from her for the painting I sold. I couldn't, however, remember what that particular painting looked like, which was a bit frustrating. I probably gave it to her a year or more ago, and I do paint a lot of pictures, so this maybe explains why I couldn't remember it. But then I heard something from her that was like music to my ears, because I learnt that the buyer wanted to buy another painting. However, because of COVID and worries about her job, she is being careful with her money at the moment. But she wants this painting very, very much, so much that she said she can't even sleep at night. So anyway, here's a picture of the painting that she'd like to buy. So I was very, very happy to hear this. And my wife said that I should paint lighter paintings like this one because those are the ones that sell. And I must admit, I do often paint a bit on the dark side. So here are a few of my dark ones. But here is another dark painting, and this one sold. So I must admit, it is a bit of a strange painting too, and the strange ones do tend to sell quite well, which is a bit of a surprise. Anyway, let's get back to the story. As an artist who has been painting for 20 years and has experienced some really hard times, it was wonderful to hear this story, and I just felt valued, or at least I felt that my work had some value, and that was just a nice feeling. Anyway, my wife was also happy and told me that I had to treat the family to dinner. So I didn't really mind, although later that evening at the restaurant when she ordered a small glass of wine for $10, I felt like saying something, but I kept my mouth shut. Well, fairly shut. It's a bit expensive, right? Well, at least for me. And anyway, I guess that I should be happy because I am making some money, even if it's just a little. And this is at a time where many people are suffering, right, because of the virus. And COVID has seriously affected business in this tourist town, really affected it a lot. The gallery owner told us that 300 workers in Yufuin had left and gone to Oita City to find work. And I noticed as we walked around the centre of Yufuin that it wasn't the bustling hive of activity that it normally is. In the centre of Yufuin there is a space that is normally crammed with buses unloading tourists, and on this day there wasn't even one bus. There was just a large empty space. It felt very strange. And normally the narrow roads are packed with tourists and cars trying to get through them. But now the narrow roads were not packed with people and there was only the occasional car, although it did tend to be something like a Mercedes. So only the main street was busy. The other streets were really quite empty, and I must admit it did feel a little bit lonely. So I was also very surprised to see many shops by the river closed, and they were permanently closed. When I looked through the large dark windows, it was just completely empty inside. On previous trips to Yufuin, I've often walked past these shops and they were very busy. And I'm so surprised that they had to shut up completely. And I wonder if they or new shops will come back again in a few years' time in that area. So it's been a dramatic change. Anyway, we were walking through Yufuin to reach a cafe at the other end of the town. It is next to the train station, and the last time I came to Yufuin we went to this cafe and it was rather nice, so I wanted to go again. But it took us a long time because we got delayed. My daughter saw some animals and she loves to feed animals, and it was quite funny because she bought some food for the ducks but they just waddled away, and I guessed that they'd been overfed that day. But I found it amazing just to see these animals refuse food. However, the goats and the squirrels were very interested in food and she could feed them and she was very happy. And the squirrels were really cute. So that was nice. And after feeding the animals, she was running in and out of the shops as we tried to make our way across the town. But she was happy and having fun, so it was good. And for me, I just love to see the exuberant energy of children. I just love it. Anyway, eventually we got to the cafe, and I didn't actually know the name of the cafe, just the location. But when I saw the name, I think it was called Milch or something. I don't know. But I felt really foolish because this cafe is one of several by the same name which we had passed on the way to this one. So I guess at least we got some exercise. Anyway, at this cafe I had a cappuccino and a pudding, and my wife and daughter had a donut each. But I was still hungry because I hadn't had breakfast or lunch that day. But later we went to the restaurant, so when I had that, it was so delicious. I was starving, absolutely starving. So that was a real treat. But anyway, we walked back across the town to get to the car after the cafe. But this time I suggested that we go by the river. And at first it seemed like a great idea, but at one point I was a bit worried that we were going the wrong way. And I thought everybody was going to get angry with me, but luckily the river turned back round again and went towards the direction of the car. So luckily we hadn't gone off into the middle of nowhere. That would have been a bit of a hard time for me, I think. But anyway, as we're walking back by this river, we saw a beautiful sunset. It was absolutely glorious, and I was so happy because I'd seen nothing that beautiful during this trip. And I took some photos, and from those photos I made about 3 paintings, and the video you're seeing now is me painting the last picture I did. So that's about it really, and I just hope that you've enjoyed watching me paint this picture, and you've enjoyed my story and just learning a little bit about somebody who lives in Japan and about being a watercolor artist. Okay, so I thought I'd just share this with you. So this is Yufuin, and I'm here on a family trip. My wife's back at the car with our daughter, and I'm just going now to a gallery because I have just a few paintings in a gallery here, and I sold one of them, which is nice, so I'll actually get some money today. But I just wanted to show you these little small pathways. There's 3 old women down there having a nice chat. I like that. Oh, the sun's coming out. When the sun comes out, even though it's February, it's actually quite warm. Yeah, so anyway, I'm trying to get to the gallery, and I'm going through these narrow lanes, and I'm not exactly sure where it is. Oh look, there's a guest house here. But anyway, when the sun comes out, it's really warm, but when the sun goes behind a cloud, it gets really, really cold. Yeah. So I will eventually get there, I think. So, and now, because I'm going to get some money, my wife decided that I'm treating everyone to dinner. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you these little lanes. Could be a restaurant there or something. Difficult to see, but you get this really interesting foliage this time of year. Like, I guess the spring green is starting to come out, but everything's still pretty wintry looking. Ah, this is a nice path. This looks a bit promising. Yeah. So you get people who build houses like that over there, which are not Japanese at all. I mean, it looks fairly nice, but it doesn't fit into this, you know, traditional Japanese town, and it's just kind of modern and without culture. But that's the way the Japanese are nowadays. They, you know, although they love their country, they've lost all sense of like their cultural architecture and stuff like that, which is really sad. I must admit, I do like to moan as well. Oh, that looks quite nice through there, but better not go there. People will think I'm trespassing. I mean, look at that wall. It's artless. It's got no love or feeling for beauty and design or anything. It's just a wall with some wideish windows just stuck in. Okay, I have to get off this rant. Oh yeah, I think I'm getting there. I mean, I can't say I always, you know, sometimes like this is quite nice, but in another way, I don't know why, it's a little bit depressing, even though it's traditional Japanese style. Oh, but something like that is fairly nice. You know, that white bit and then the wooden bit below, and then the lovely tiles. You know, if they do things like that, it's good. We're coming up to the river here. Oh, here it is. The Doin. That's where the gallery is. So look at this road, guys. Shall I just show you the river? So it's just up here. I doubt the audio is going to be really good on this, but anyway, I'll just show you a little bit of Yufuin as well. I have tried to paint this river a few times. So here you go, guys. And it used to be an absolutely fabulous place, this did. You know, like even about 30 years ago. And then they just built over it all. Okay, so here we go. I'll just show you the gallery and then maybe that's enough. And I climbed to the top of that mountain actually. I got stuck on there all night. Well, trying to come down it. I got stuck in the forest. But I've climbed to the top and painted the scene from there, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So it's 2 peaks, and that's like the kind of symbol of this place, Yufuin. It's a fantastic symbol to have. Really, really is. It's beautiful. Yeah, you don't really see anything like that in England except for like the Lake District. So as you can see, look at this path. But I like this because this is how old Japan used to be, yeah? The paths like this with big lumps of stone and little stones, and it's a bit marshy over there. But I like it. At some point they'll just tarmac all over it and make it smooth and fine. But I remember the path to our house, even though it was in the city, well, near the city centre, it was just a mud path. Obviously when it rained it was a bit of a problem, but it was just nice. It was quaint, I guess that's what you could say. Oh, here we are. So this is the place. It's a traditional Japanese house. And you enter this way. Oh, looks like there might be an art contest. I should join that. I think it says for the country. Oh look, little bits of artwork here. And there you go. Oh, look at this up here. I think this is what the owner made. She's really into art herself. Look at that. That's quite good, isn't it? I quite like that. Okay, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. And look at this. That's really interesting, isn't it? Okay. And I've got apple pie for her. That's all. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed it.